Angina, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Are we on? Oh my gosh. Hello.
Oh my goodness,
everyone.
are we on?
Woo! Welcome to the Asian and Pacific Islanders panel. I will be your moderator today, Cash Monet. We will start by doing introductions. So I am Cash Monet. I come from San Francisco, California, and I stream on twitch.tv/CashMonetDrag, and I do live drag shows. I also do my editing and my photo and video editing streams on Wednesday called Drag and Drop, where you can tune in and you can learn how to edit your face as if it was Facetune, or maybe edit that drag video that you did 2 months ago and now you got it has to be due tomorrow. Girl, tune in. All right, next we're going to introduce Amanda Express.
Hi everyone, it's your SoCal Stoner Beauty Amanda Express. You can follow me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, all under Amanda Express, Express without the first E. I'm so excited to be here with all of my siblings and Angina. Yeah.
Great. All right, we're going to be moving it to Kiyoshi.
Ooh, hello everyone. My name is Kiyoshi Yorha, pansexual drag queen here on Twitch.tv. And yeah, I stream on Twitch, and yeah, so happy to be here.
Great, and then we're going to be moving it along to Joystick.
Did I lag out?
Joy?
Hello.
No, you're there.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I was like, huh?
Hello?
Did I say my introduction or am I dead? You're good. You're good. Hi everyone. I'm Joystick, Twitch's resident drag monarch, because I'm both a king and a queen. I stream usually Thursdays through Sundays at 7 p.m. PST on twitch.tv/joy_steak.
Woo! And then from Drag Race, from TV. Can you believe it? I mean, you can watch this on TV too. Angina!
Hi, everybody. I'm Angina. I'm from season 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And if you didn't blink, you might have seen me on All Stars 5. I currently...
Oh my God.
Not that.
We all laughed at the pain.
I started streaming a few months ago thanks to my husband, who introduced me to this platform and this community of seriously some of the amazing people I've met. And I usually stream whenever the fuck I want. And so there's no schedule, but you'll see some makeup transformations, some baking that's really messy. You'll see Drag Race reviews of the season coming up, and just being loud, obnoxious, and chaotic. And that's on Angina Official. And you can find me all on the other social medias under Angina.
Woo! And if you want to follow us, be sure to follow the dynamic follow button. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. Oh, look, Kiyoshi's pointing to it.
It's down here somewhere.
Right here?
I think.
Is it right here?
We're all pointing somewhere.
It's here.
It's
okay.
There. So this panel is all about Asian and Pacific Islander drag performers. So I think it would be necessary if we went around the room, and I just talk about our backgrounds for a little bit. So for myself, I am Asian American. I was born here in California, and I am Filipino. As you can see, I'm wearing a little bit of a Filipino flair up in here. All right, and then Amanda, if you'd like to go next.
Yeah, I am Vietnamese American. I was actually born in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. I moved to the state when I was 11. What else did we want to talk? Sorry.
No, talk whatever you want.
That's my background.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And sorry. I live in the OC area. There we go.
Work. All right. Kiyoshi. Okay, she was still
Yes.
pointing, so
Hello.
I was just like,
I know. I just want to make sure that the follow is right there. I just wanna
yeah.
make
See,
sure.
we had to
to
make
let
sure
you know.
for everyone. All right, Kiyoshi, we're talking
I might
about your ethnicity or background and all that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And just a quick FYI, I might switch my camera in the midst of this because I think OBS is messing with everything. But yeah, I'm actually of mixed race. I am 4 parts. 1 part Filipino, Chinese, and then Mexican and Italian. And I don't know. That's pretty much it.
I thought you're 5 parts. Where's the beauty?
We don't have it
Oh. All right, joystick.
I am Filipino American. I was born in the Philippines and moved here at about the same as Amanda, like around age 11. I started off moving to Florida, then landed in the Bay Area.
Woo! Neighbors, hey.
Yeah.
And then Angina.
I am Filipino with a U.S. citizenship, and I moved here when I was 14, so about 4 years ago. And and I moved here. I moved to Seattle first, and then lived in New York for 7 years. LA for 11 and San Francisco for 11 months. And I call Los Angeles home. And I'm married to my husband of 9 years, together for 10. And we have 2 dogs, a cat, and a guinea pig.
Oh my god, that's so cute. Ooh.
All right, so the panel it revolves around Asian performers, and I was like gonna put the definition of what an Asian person is, but it's someone from Asia.
Yeah.
Right?
If you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I get a globe. I have.
I honestly can't even point at where Asia is at on the globe. I am not. I just don't know geography at all.
It's hard. It's
What's
hard
a map?
So, going around, how does your background and ethnicity inspire your drag? So let's go on this side and let's go to Kiyoshi.
Hi. Honestly, you know, it's kind of I think a lot of anime really like inspires my drag. I know that in particular to like Asians, because like anime is just like for sure like a Japanese like style. It's not even more so even part of my heritage, but that is one of like the Asian like inspirations that I have for my drag. Although I do want to mess with it a lot more since I'm still new to drag. I want to I'm still trying to find my way around makeup and whatnot and drag, but that's one of my inspirations.
Wow. Okay. Amanda.
So like truth be told, I grew up with like the drag race culture, and like the things that really inspire me are most of the time not Asian related, though I try to really like incorporate my like Vietnamese heritage to like my drag, which is a lot of mukbang. I eat a lot of Asian food on camera, but other than that, I feel like my drag is like very Western influenced. I have been trying to incorporate more of my Asian side into that. So I'm getting a lot of like traditional Vietnamese like dresses made. And Plastique Tiara is like an icon for me. Like she just like exude that Vietnamese American energy that I really adore. So yeah, I'm just like really trying to evolve in that direction. Evolved.
Yeah, Amanda. Like, what is more Western American Asian than Panda Express?
That's very true.
Touche to you.
I mean, okay, so we're gonna move it to Joy.
Um, sorry, what was the question?
How does your ethnicity? I know we were all just thinking of Panda Express. You know,
I know.
that orange chicken
Once you said food,
slaps.
My brain went empty after you said food.
I need orange chicken.
How does your ethnicity or your background inspire your drag?
So I grew up watching a lot of like Filipino telenovelas. So,
Oh.
my inspiration whenever I'm doing like a drag queen moment is basically like the evil rich bitch. Oh wait, sorry, we can't curse because we're on the front page. But yeah, that's literally my inspiration. When I do king, it's not really, my heritage doesn't really inspire, like there's no inspiration for it, unfortunately, but I'm trying to like see all, like just try to see where it can fall for me, I guess. I don't know how it applies to my aesthetic,
All right.
because my aesthetic is very much like thembo, so
Thembo. Did you coin Thembo or?
I don't know. I think it's been a thing. I don't know.
it's kind of been out for
If
a while.
I looked at the definition of Thembo, I would see you really.
I can see that right now.
Honestly.
And then Angina, how does your ethnicity inspire your drag?
My drag is actually heavily influenced by pop culture and fashion. I worked in fashion for a very long time before I decided to become a full-time drag queen. And pop culture is something that I obviously enjoy visually, emotionally, physically. And there's a lot of that that influences my drag. But recently, I had a reconnection to my culture. I went back home to the Philippines and fell back in love with my country, the people, my family that I haven't seen since 2005. We went to different places in the Philippines that reminded me of who I am and where I came from. And so more recently, I'm trying to take that back and influence my drag a little bit more. And I lost my father a couple of years ago as well. And it helped me reconnect with my family because I was so focused on my career and I was so focused on not being home. That when my father passed away, I realized the importance of my mom, my brother, my sister, my niece, my nephew. And so, and they're like, you know, traditional Filipino. And so I'm reconnecting and having a new found love for my culture. And I'm the one to admit that, you know, a lot of my drag was influenced by Western culture and pop culture, and it wasn't ever influenced by my country. But because of those reconnections and realizing the true person that I am, I'm loving taking inspirations from the Philippines and bringing it to life and modernizing it for what I see my drag as.
Totally, especially growing up in
Yeah,
America, we're definitely just ingesting so much Western culture that we don't even think about like where we're from, and until we're adults.
I
Yeah.
I have something. I feel like growing up. I feel like especially like Joy. I feel like you could attest to this. Like being like an immigrant. Like when you have an accent, a lot of kids would like bully you and like make fun of you. And I feel like I kind of push aside my like Asian heritage and not like show as much just to like kind of not be made fun of. And like over time I feel like you just like overwhelmed with like Western culture.
Yeah, like we
Absolutely,
assimilating for
I agree.
acceptance. Oh, go ahead.
I remember, you know, when I first moved here from the Philippines in 1994, it was the summer and I had to go to school, you know, in September. And I was like super off the boat. I like was so proud of being like different and I'm going into like this new environment and I was so happy. And I was looked at like I was, you know, different and I didn't fit in. And so it was like, what do they say, sink or ship? Sink or
Swim.
Thank you. See, I'm ESL still, but that's okay. So it's like sink or swim, and so I think to make us feel better about ourselves and like we as immigrants, we infuse ourselves in those surroundings so that we don't get bullied, harassed, or feel lonely or different or just sad about being in a new environment. And so that's what I did, and that's why a lot of my influences come from growing up in America versus growing up in the Philippines. But now, like I said, my reconnection to my country is something that's really important to me.
Yeah, and
Totally.
I feel like especially this year specifically, I've been getting more into like my background and heritage. And I totally had that same story growing up as well, whereas like my parents would own chicken adobo and I would take it to school and they're like, what are you eating? What is rice? Why is it not pizza? And I'm like, stop it! Okay, so we're all from different parts. We all have different communities. So what is the every city has a diverse scene ranging from like glam to artsy to pageant. So what is the drag scene like in your community? And then how do you represent yourself in that community? So we'll start with Amanda.
It's weird because I feel like the OC and LA area is super populated with Asian Americans, but I actually don't know many like Asian American performer. I mean, we do have Angina and we have Raja, and I know a few local queens like Baby Discoteca or Miss Shumai.
I love her.
But I feel like I still feel like we're not that represented. Like I still feel like there's a lot of it's still dominated by a lot of other races. Yeah.
All right, and then Kiyoshi.
I mean, you saying that, I'm still new to drag, and I wanted to start doing drag this year, but obviously because of recent events, that's happening. But before I started to do drag, I did go to like my local drag shows and whatnot, and I can only think of one a local Asian queen, and that's it. I don't think I can think of anyone else in my area.
Kiyoshi, you said you want to start doing drag. You're already doing drag this year.
Oh yeah,
What are you talking about?
I wanted to do local drag. Like I wanted to perform out on drag shows and whatnot. But
Well,
obviously I can't
someone
do that
book her.
physically.
This is her time to get booked right now. Okay,
But
Joy.
I'm focusing on local.
In my community, so it's pretty much like I live in the Bay Area, and I'm part of the East Bay, so the closest part of in my town there's not really any drag or gay scene. The closest one is in Oakland, so I have to go all the way over there. And when I went to check out Oakland, there wasn't really a lot of there was the cast was very diverse, but there wasn't a lot of like Asian performers, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
So, and then when I went to, I remember going to this club with my friend 8-Bit Dylan and his husband. Like I went in full drag just cause, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go, because there's not a lot of Asians out there in the East Bay. So I was like, I went, and they loved me, and they tried to book me for shows until COVID happened. So yeah, it was so much fun.
Oh my god, we should go out, Joy, once this is all over.
Yes.
All right, Angina.
Here in Los Angeles, I find that a lot of the drag shows are actually very diverse, but on the same time, I feel like a lot of the girls get booked based off of who they know and who they hang out with, which could maybe similar to any other city in the United States. So I have sort of in my scene, I have taken on sort of like I don't want to say motherly, but bigger sister type role when I actually started trying to do competition shows for all of these amazing drag performers that don't have the platform or the stage to perform in, because they are so hungry to just literally get pretty and get handsome and go on stage and perform for audiences, but they don't often have that opportunity because, like I said, the scene tends to be a little bit more end base, and obviously, you know, like I see so much, I saw so many, like so much talent over the years hosting these competition shows. And when I would have shows, I would recommend them. When I would have shows, I would recommend them to the bars and book them. But there are a lot of actually really amazing new queens that represents the Asian culture here. And then there are show directors here that are also Asian. And then there's just like beautiful performers and handsome performers that perform in drag, you know, and I think that it could still change. I feel like sometimes we also do like just a very strong Asian casted shows. And I think that's really important for representation. I think it's really important for like young aspiring drag queens because they're seeing people like us that are Asian doing and living and performing, and it inspires them to actually say, you know, I see myself in that person. And so I think that's why it's important to continue to do that. So when we can, I really do, like when we start performing again or booking queens, I really do want to challenge every single person who books shows to look into these performers, especially people of color, and find these new queens that are hungry to have a stage to perform in and give them a chance, because sooner or later they're gonna be just as good, if not better, than a lot of the drag queens that's been in the scene for so long.
Correct. Like you don't know unless you're gonna book them, so just give them a chance.
Absolutely. I mean, like I started when I moved to LA, you know, like I stopped drag and then I went to this party called Mustache Mondays, and they were performing and stuff, and like I didn't know how to like approach the show director or the promoter and be like, hey, I you know, I want to do that. And then I saw Raja, and I've never seen Raja, like this tall, gorgeous Asian glamazon, and I was like, oh my God, I wanna be her. Like I wanna be exactly like her. Like where do it? So it's kind of like take a chance on somebody, and you might learn a thing or two from these new performers, or maybe even like these new performers can get inspired to give the same chances to other people in the future.
Totally. Here in San Francisco, we have Rock'em Sakura is one of our Asian drag performers here around, but definitely in the Bay Area, um, there is a lot, but it's so unfortunate that sometimes they just don't get booked, or like if you do get booked and you are the one Asian person, it's like me or Rock'em Sakura, and it's a very interesting thing how that happens. I'm actually going to mix up the questions right now since we are talking about it. Have there been times where your race was a major factor being included in a show? So, like, what are your are there any like hardships that you face as being Asian and a drag performer? I'm actually going to send it back to Angina since you are kind of talking about this right now.
Yeah. I've, you know, thanks to RuPaul's Drag Race, I not had the worst opportunities. Obviously, like being on Drag Race has opened up a lot of doors for me, and it changed my career, changed my life, and I'm very thankful. And I'm also very thankful that throughout the years they continue to add Asian representation on Drag Race, because I think that's really important. You know, like Amanda, who is inspired by the Drag Race phenomenon, like she has this love for, you know, other Asian contestants in the, because she sees herself in it, and I think that that's really important. But in local terms, I've not had any hardships even before. It was just a matter of like putting myself out there and showing them that I really want to be this person or this performer. And I think that's how I started to like dress up. I started to go to the parties. I started to like go to the drag shows, and I started to support. And I think people, you know, like the support part of it is really important. Like you can't just go to a show director and be like, hey, I'm a drag queen, book me next weekend. It's like, bitch, front page. But you could be like, you know, that's also really important. Like if there is an Asian themed show, like you go support it. If there's an Asian drag queen that's hosting, you go support it. And if you want to be represented, and if you want to be somebody chosen for the next, you know, performance, then you go out there and support, and they're going to support you right back, I believe. At least that's my experience.
Exactly. All right, Joy, has there been any major hardships that you've faced as an Asian drag performer? Oh,
I think you're muted, Joy.
Muted?
Joy.
I forgot.
Silence.
It's just this mute button. It's so convenient. I started my drag journey on Twitch, so all my experiences have been, especially with like performances, has all been digital. So I feel like I have been asked a couple of times to be in a couple of drag shows, but I feel like when I look at certain drag shows of certain mutuals that I have seen like they've put together, it's like mostly majority like white performers, and I'm like, it's us. But for those that I recently did this one drag show hosted by my two siblings, Marisol Lords and London Bradshaw. They just focused on just POC drag talent, like virtually on Twitch, off of Twitch. It's like it was just amazing. So I feel like if people just look at more, instead of just looking at all the white performers, they can see that there was just like there's a lot more to, like POC performers have a lot to offer. But yeah, that's just my experience though, and my feelings.
Just support more POC performers. Kiyoshi, have you had any type of hardships as a Asian drag performer?
Not really. Again, when I was starting to do local drag and doing local performances, I basically only was able to compete. I did like some amateur drag competitions, and I mean that alone wasn't too bad, just because like there wasn't anything that was too like you have to be in here. You're the only like Asian or Mexican mixed kind of person. We need to have you. I didn't get any of that. Because obviously it's just competition. And there was another show as well too where it was actually my one and only gig, but and they had me in, but there wasn't any. My ethnicity didn't necessarily come into play. They just wanted to give me a chance. So I don't think there was any. And I mean, being on Twitch, doesn't necessarily came up to me to invite me in because of like my ethnicity as well. So I don't think I've ever had any hardships for the most part.
And then Amanda?
There's definitely been shows where I've been booked and I was the only Asian performer, but I don't think like that's because of any discrimination or anything. I think it just happens that like, can we talk? I want to like explore this a little bit more, like our like Asian culture. I think the reason why we don't see like a lot of like drag queens more than other races is because of like how conservative our culture is and our parents. But I do have been booked in like Asian exclusive show, and I feel very like fortunate about that. We do have a few shows around the area, like Send Nudes Party, hosted by Shumai and Discoteca. And it's very nice to be like included in like a show that like promotes my own culture and diversity. But yeah, I don't think I've been like discriminated, but it's also doesn't feel good to be like one of the only like Asian queens in like a whole like cast.
Right.
I feel like it's just because like not a lot of our Asian siblings are trying out drag, and it could be the very same reasons where it's like conservativeness of our parents and whatnot.
Right.
I think that's actually a really big conversation that we can have. Probably not here because we're on a limited time, but it's good to bring it up, Amanda, because yes, there is a lot of shame when you don't follow a traditional Asian upbringing, especially with your parents. And then within yourself, you have that inner shame where when I came out to my parents as being gay, that was something that was very hard to do. And then I had to come out to them as being a drag queen. And then I had to tell him that I'm HIV positive on top of being a very traditional Filipino family. Like I felt like I was just putting shame in my family, not once, twice, but 3 times. And so there's a lot of that feeling that we feel as Asian children, like, am I good enough for my family or my parents? And then if I start doing things that are not traditional, then what the hell is going to happen with me and my family? And so that fear is always there. And that's probably also why we don't see a lot of Asian drag queens, and because they're afraid to actually try it or do it. But that's why representation and conversations like this are so important, because they are seeing that it's okay. And I have hope that it'll continue to be okay.
Yeah, of course. And then also like some shows are also like I have a show called Pastel Gore, and the whole cast was POC, but like we didn't even think about that. Like that wasn't our like tipping point for you to come to our show. It just was. And
Right.
Very unbiased like, show audition.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
there was other times when I would be someone who owned a bar was like, "Oh, can I have you for a show? It's like, can you host a show? Because it's gonna be an all Asians night." And then they said something along the lines of, "Can we have like we're trying to have like a yellow invasion in here?" And I said, "Hell no!"
Excuse me.
Yeah, you can't be saying that stuff in front of me or at all.
Boy, what were you gonna say?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, that was just me reacting.
Oh, I was gonna say, like that in itself is actually like inviting somebody Asian to host an Asian show is great. It's great success. That means that we're doing something they want us to represent, and that is our culture, so we have a connection to it. But then to add, can you find us more yellow performers? It's like, no, dude, fuck you.
Oh yeah.
Like that doesn't work this way.
Sorry.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I cursed like a trucker.
No, it's fine. That's good too. Sorry, front page.
Sorry.
And
Get us
yeah,
some
so
follow-ons.
just be on the lookout, like who to support, especially like what shows you're a part of. Okay, so there are countless of drag artists who are Asian, like us. Yes, hello. But there are also a lot of drag performers who inspire and appreciate Asian culture in their drag as well. So what do you think, like, especially in drag, what do you think is like the line between like appreciation and appropriation in drag? Let's start with Amanda.
Huh. Let's see. I feel like I've only seen like Asian queens showing like Asian outfits and Asian inspired like makeup and headwears and stuff. I don't think I've ever seen like other queens doing like those things, so I'm blanking here.
Does anyone would like to? I mean, I have an example. Would you like to? Well,
Yeah.
For example,
Tell
Erica Clash is not Asian, but they heavily inspired by like Pastel Gore, Gore Decorum, like the whole like Lolita look.
Yeah.
So how does one go with seeing that that is more about appreciation? And this doesn't have to be about drag. It can be about like fashion or style. Joy, would you like to say something?
Yeah, so I think there's a fine line between appreciation and appropriation. So when, let's say, you know the background, you know the history, you know the impact of what you're of what you are, let's say you're wearing a particular accessory that's important to an Asian culture, right? Let's say like you did your research, you did it in a respectful way. That's appreciation, and it comes from a place of love. But if it comes from a place of ignorance, then let's say you put chopsticks in your hair, right? Like no one does that. No one puts chopsticks in our hair, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a specific hairpin for that. But yeah, so if you don't know the background, you just think it looks cool, then that's when it becomes appropriation, and that's when it's not okay to do.
Kiyoshi, do you have something to say?
I think for the most part, Joy has covered what I would want to say. I think the thing that sucks about my situation is that because of mixed race, my family hasn't necessarily brought in any of my Filipino or Chinese culture in my life, and so is my other part as well, my like Mexican and Italian side either. So I wouldn't know even like if someone is doing anything that's going too far from the Filipino perspective. I wouldn't know how far appreciation would go and appropriation. But I think Joy pretty much made it clear, like if you understand and have done your research on it and you know it's wrong, you probably shouldn't do it. And you can do it if you have done your research for the most part and it's done in a way that respects the culture.
Angina?
I agree with what everyone said about respect. It really boils down to that. If you're representing it with respect, then obviously there's because you're doing it for the culture and for the love of the culture. But when it starts to be a meme or a GIF or a social media post or, you know, to be the butt of the joke, then that's when it starts to cross the line. And that's when we start calling them out because they need to be called out for that.
Yeah. I think that also not only goes with Asian cultures, of course, but that also goes with other cultures too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Of course. And what about like appreciating cross cultures, like if I wore like a Japanese Lolita thing, like how is that appreciation as well? Angina?
I think when you're inspired by something, you love it so much that you want to start representing that in your own self. And you know, I have heavily Japanese inspired tattoos all over my arms, and because I love the Japanese culture, I really respect the Japanese culture. I love like everything about it, and I try to infuse myself and educate myself with what the meanings are of my tattoos. You know, I also recently found out that the rising sun tattoo on my arm is offensive to Koreans, and so I've made the decision to cover it up with flowers because I don't want to be an Asian person representing something that obviously offends other people and brings back really awful memories of years ago. Something that I'm supposed to be supporting, and so it's if you appreciate it, you show it with love, and I think that's the best way that you can do it, and you can respect that. But when you start offending people, then you have to have a bigger conversation with yourself and say, okay, maybe that's too far. And that's the same conversation I had with myself with my tattoo, and I said, you know what? I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. I knew that the rising sun was for new beginnings and money and good luck. Also, it was an imperial flag symbol for the Japanese army who invaded Korea and enslaved women for sex. And, you know, and so you have to have that conversation with yourself. Where is it appropriation and where is it appreciation? And I think you would know that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, just
if they don't, we call them out.
Yeah, call them out, look it up, read a book. Google's right in front of us. We can all do that right now.
Yeah. So going back to that example that you used, which was like Japanese Lolita, right? Even that's inspired by a different culture. So that one's inspired by like Victorian dolls, right? But the people that do live in that subculture, they love and appreciate, and they've done their homework. So that, and then for us, so it's not like exclusively Japanese, right? So and for like me, I absolutely love the Lolita culture as well. So that's why I did my research. I know like the backgrounds and how to wear things appropriately without being disrespectful.
And then Amanda, do you have anything?
I again, I do agree that if you treat like something that you see and you like, and if you treat it with respect, and if you do it with your own research, and you really appreciate it without any malintention, then I think it's totally fine. I also want to bring up like a point about what do you guys think about like, because I feel like when you talk about like Asian culture, a lot of people think of anime, and I feel like that's a big part of outfits and makeup and stuff. Do you think like doing anime related thing are there a line to that as well?
I mean, I wouldn't think so for the most part. Again, like as long as it's not like a meme or anything, because again, I'm relatively inspired by anime and like just Japanese cartoons in general. So I think it's a kind of like it is like the go-to for sure for stereotypes, and we're trying to stay away from that. But I think it still goes around to the same thing, where if you can appreciate it and just do it in a respectful way, and doing your research, I think it wouldn't be too bad. And I think the other thing too from that is like when you are getting called out, it's important to listen and apologize and resolve.
Totally.
In that culture, I'm not a cosplayer, but in the cosplayer like community, there's so much passion and heart, and there's so much love, and they really invest their time, their energy, their heart into anime. And so whenever I see cosplayers do it, regardless of race, I feel like they're really taking ownership of what they love and really appreciating it. I mean, like comic conventions are huge, and not only Asian people cosplay, all races cosplay anime characters. And I think that's actually incredible. And I've actually not seen any problematic cosplayers do it. But again, that's why we're having this conversation, because when we do start seeing it, then that's when we could really start. But what I've seen is they really, really love anime so much that they want to be a part of it somehow. And so they cosplay it with a lot of love and respect.
Yeah.
Can I also add that like for those that actually like gatekeep things like cosplay and like anime fandoms, you are part of the problem. You are absolutely part of the problem. If you can't share what you love, then you're just, not only are you hurting the community and the fandom that you claim that you love, you're keeping other people from loving that same thing. You're keeping them from you're basically just discouraging them from liking what you like.
Right. But we also don't want Scarlett Johansson playing a main Asian character in an anime movie, okay?
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's not what we want.
Yeah, no,
okay?
that's not what I mean.
That's not right. That's not even appreciation at this point. It's just you found a white popular actress and had her play an Asian main character. No, that's not what we want. So, and that's not what we're saying. So, but again,
also don't use Asian people as props, Gwen Stefani.
that.
I think the other thing too is like with keeping, I think it's also important to know like it's anyone can do cosplay too, for especially in the aspects of like anime, love for anime too. Like a black person can cosplay as a white person and still use their own skin as well. And I think gatekeeping like that is toxic as well.
Yeah, it unfortunately does happen a lot, well, in the cosplay community, but the anime community as a whole is very loving. And I hope everyone in the chat is loving too, y'all. Gotta keep moving forward. Gotta keep moving forward. Okay, so how are you as a drag performer, drag artist, are using your own platform to educate and show that you're represented in your community. So, Kiyoshi, do you want to start with you?
For the most part, again, I really wanted to, I really want to get into my heritage again, and Filipino is definitely like part of my heritage I want to get into. I want to learn Tagalog. I want to learn how to make more than chicken adobo, which I still love. I right now I'm more focusing on being a queer person and I do kind of more so focus on saying that I'm pansexual and like everyone can do drag. Eventually in the future, for sure, I will be implementing like my drag looks to be inspired by my heritage as well. So right now, my streams aren't necessarily focused on that, but I do want it to be like my drag to be inspired by that.
Can we have some chicken adobo, please?
Yeah,
I can make you some. For sure.
I'm more of a pork adobo person, though.
Oh, we can have
So like
both.
Yes.
We can have both. We can all take some home, a little Tupperware, a little faux
I'm
plate
so hungry.
on top of
Yes.
another faux plate.
Let's start a
Take
potluck,
it
let's go.
home.
Yeah, can also say that Filipino like parties are always so lit because they have so much food and they're so
Honestly.
good.
Asian family parties are the littest.
It's the best and also the worst if you're trying to be on a diet.
Oh yeah, and we take
Right.
forever to say
The
bye.
minute you walk in, they're like, "Did
Yeah,
you eat?"
yeah.
And you're like, "I got here."
They also ask you, "Where's your girlfriend?"
Oh my god!
Oh
yes,
my god. Yes.
I'm not even. I go to my Filipino friend's house and they say literally the same two questions: Are you hungry? And have you had a girlfriend? I mean, I'm glad they care about my well-being, but yeah.
I would actually make fun of my siblings. I would make fun of them to my parents. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, Darlene is hungry. She's hungry. She needs to eat." And then my parents would be like,
right to your mom.
"She's hungry," and then she. Amanda,
Get a whole meal.
how do you represent yourself and show that you are present as an Asian person in your community?
Yeah, I'm actually like really sad that being a Vietnamese American, I feel like our culture is like completely like out of the radar. Like when you speak of like Asian culture, I feel like we have a lot of Japanese, Korean, Filipino inspired, but like as a Vietnamese person, we don't see that at all. Like the first time I actually seeing like a Vietnamese culture thing on TV was Plastique wearing our traditional Ao Dai dress, which is like so amazing. And I have plans to like try to do things that are more for Vietnamese American, like promoting our looks and culture. And it goes back to like what Anjana was saying about shame. Like there have been so many times when I want to do like a Vietnamese number, but I just didn't do it because I don't know it makes me really sad to think about that, but I for sure want to explore more of that.
Well, totally. Even like because we specifically didn't grow up with it, except maybe our parents. Maybe we're not super inspired. Like this outfit that I'm wearing right now, I like just got this made. I've been doing drag for 5 years, and I just got this like Filipino inspired outfit today. So
Yeah.
there's never a late time to do it, Amanda.
Well, there's also the challenge of a lot of designers not knowing how to do Asian inspired outfits. You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
Wait,
Joy,
Cash, can we have like a full-on reveal of this outfit? I need
this
to see
one?
it.
Oh yes,
Yes.
I
Yes.
do
Do
too.
too.
Okay. I'm
I
wearing
love this outfit.
pants.
It represents our flag and our country.
Honestly, yeah.
It is
Oh,
so cute.
Oh,
And it's
I love that.
all made. The earrings, headpiece, and dress were all made by queer Filipino artists in the Bay Area.
Yes.
Yes.
and your headpiece is the sun rays on our flag.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh
It's
my
right here.
god.
And then, yep, that's amazing.
I have a small pixelated screen right now, but I'll check it in the VODs.
Your
But-
webcam is disconnected, Kiyoshi.
Oh, is it?
For me.
Oh,
That's fine.
Um,
it's okay.
for me, I think what I try to do to represent my culture is I talk about my family a lot when I'm hosting. I talk about my upbringing. I talk about how crazy we are. I curse in Tagalog so that everybody is cursed at, because that's what we do when we're arguing in Filipino. And I also try now learning a lot of like OEM like songs, because I love karaoke OEM, and it's like those hits from back in the day. I think it's called OEM, right? Yeah. And like back in the day. So I'm trying to like bring that, and I'm just trying to like really exude confidence in being, you know, an Asian person on stage. I think there's nothing more powerful than really owning the color of your skin and, you know, the size of your eyes, or like the way that your accent sounds differently than others. Like there's nothing more powerful than just really owning it, and then really like living your life like out loud and large, because you are that person. And I'm so happy that I'm having this reconnection with my culture, that I'm finally like, I mean, years and years after, I'm really finally am able to say, F everybody, I'm Filipino, and this is the way that I talk, move, you know, whatever. And I think that if you have that power and you have that confidence, you have that presence.
Can you yell at me in Tagalog right now, Angina?
Hey,
Wait.
bakla! Ano ba naman yan?
Wait, hold on. Are there rules off like
Okay.
curse words on front page too?
They
It's
can't,
fine.
they
The,
don't,
the
No.
staff won't understand. Go away.
I just got flashbacks to my mom. My mom would say,
Wait,
"Ay, tagas ng ulo mo," and I was just like,
Ay, Cash!
Oh my god.
Labas ka ng labas!
I can't. I'm gonna
Oh my
FaceTime
God.
them later. I can't have this screaming at me right now.
Really, I know it's funny that is every single one of our mothers, to be honest.
Honestly, yes.
Absolutely.
That is literally my mom.
All right, Joy, how do you represent yourself as an Asian person in your community?
I feel like the most, like last year I had the opportunity to be a part of Asian Pacific and Heritage Month for Twitch's that event, and they invited me to do the to be on the front page where we played Dead by Daylight, actually, Cash, right? And basically that entire time we were just talking about like being Asian, being particularly like my inspirations as a Filipino, and how that intersects with drag, like pretty much like this. And it was like, it was amazing, and it was fun, and it was like, it was just us kikiing and just appreciating our culture.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to bring back to my streams, honestly. Like, I keep dropping like little hints here and there because I like to talk about food in my streams. Like it's half the subject. So I always bring up like food from my childhood, food like especially like Filipino barbecue. Like I miss that. Filipino street barbecue.
Street barbecue,
Yes.
specific. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
When I was a kid, they gave me barbecue. I was a child. And then they were like, you know what you're eating? Intestines! And I was like, ah! Well. That's amazing. So we have like 5 minutes left. That was so quick, y'all. Isn't that?
That was.
So we're gonna go around a little speed round of some stuff that inspires you. So we're gonna do our Asian drag queens that inspire you. Let's start with Amanda.
Totally, Angina and Raja. Plastique Tiara are like my icons. They just exude like Asian excellency for me.
Kiyoshi.
I will also say Angina as well, and also Rock.
You guys don't have to say me because I'm here, but tell me more.
Also, Rock and Kim as well, because like especially Rock in that sense, because they really like go for the whole anime perspective as well.
Joy.
I would say a lot of the Filipino queens that I've seen, like, of course, Angina, Angina, Jeremy, Kine was one of the most recent ones. Like Kine has been like Kine literally provided me this like all the tools.
Yes.
That's like the first
So-
when you research, when you're like drag wig tutorial, it's like up right there. First
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the Filipino queens, even also Rock'em Sakura, and it's just like, and Raja, just love Raja. I love anything Raja does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Angina, any notable drag performers?
So when I first moved to Los Angeles, I saw Raja perform Through the Fire. If you've never seen that performance, please YouTube it right away. And she performed it with so much passion that I literally thought she just had come out of a fire. And it was so incredible. And being able to see like a tall Asian Glamazonian drag queen was also really incredible to me, because most Filipinos are 4'11" like myself. And she just exudes so much beauty and passion. So she really like reignited this fire to become a drag queen again when I moved to LA. And then over the years, I have been inspired with some of the most amazing local queens here. And a lot of them are my friends, like Mahalia, Wilhelmina, Anya Nuts, Sriracha, Tijuana, Ross. There are a lot of them and so many more, but there's so much of them that really put so much passion and in their craft. And they're always trying to be inclusive of their shows and the way that they book their shows here in LA. And I want to like applaud them and all of the other local queens that I've met throughout this crazy years of traveling. You guys are there representing for us, so I can't say thank you enough, and gratitude and maraming salamat po.
Yay! For myself, I would like to say Mooncakes from Seattle, BB Discoteca from Los Angeles,
love her.
Miss Shumai from Los Angeles, and yeah. Okay, so we're almost out of time, but I want to do really quickly, what is your favorite Asian snack food? We have to talk about it since Joy said it. Joy, go first, please.
Snack?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. I've been waiting for
I
it.
have mine right here. I can't wait to show you.
Oh my god.
I'll go first.
Oh my god.
Okay, I don't know if this is actually Asian, but it is made by Meiji America, which is an Asian American brand. But I freaking love Hello Pandas.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my god.
yes,
Yes.
this is so good.
my Mochi flavor, chocolate flavor, strawberry flavor, vanilla flavor. Give me all the Hello Pandas immediately.
Yes.
So, can they sponsor me? Hi.
Yes, next meet and greet, we're all just gonna give you Hello Pandas. Joy, your favorite snack?
It's a Filipino chip. It's called Clover. I love Clovers, especially the cheese one.
Oh, it gets all over your fingers.
Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god.
Amanda?
Wait, like they put so much cheese on it. It's literally like a thick layer, yeah.
Yeah, you have to shake the bag.
Amanda?
We don't eat snack in my house. I mean, but I have a love for pho. Like I have a dying love for pho. We go out to eat twice a week, and I mean that's my snack. I'll snack on it all day.
He said snack pho.
Mama?
I will snack on it.
I think Kiyoshi?
I mean, by snacks, I mean like Pocky. I like to nibble on those for sure. But like, if we're going for like little finger foods, I like lumpia as well. You know, lumpia because it's easy. It's just easy right there. That's it.
And then for mine, we're all gonna go out for bobo after this.
Oh my god, yes!
Let's go!
Boba.
All right, so we are,
Please.
and that concludes our Asian and Pacific Islander panel. I had so much fun. I wish this can go on forever. We can all have our little Filipino potluck one day and then take them home
please.
after. But let's do our sign-offs. So Amanda, please.
Hi everyone, it's Amanda Express. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter on Amanda Express, Express without the first E. I am your SoCal Stoner Beauty, and I will see you next time. I love all of you. Mwah.
Kiyoshi.
My name is Kiyoshi, your hub and sexual drag queen here on Twitch.tv. You can find me on all social medias, KIYOSHIYORHA, on all social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Joy.
You can find me at twitch.tv/joy_steek, on Twitter and TikTok at joysteek, and you can find me in 15 minutes in the Envy panel. Yeah.
Yes. Stay here and watch Joy.
And then Angina.
I'm Angina, and I am here on twitch.tv/AnginaOfficial. Yes, that is Angina because God didn't make me a certain kind of Ina, so I made you the ultimate Angina.
Yes. And then I was your moderator today, Cash Monet. You can find me on twitch.tv/CashMonetDrag. This has been Stream Queens Con. Please stay tuned. You'll see Joystick in the NB.
Give it up for Cash!
Oh, thank you! All right, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thank you,
Bye, everyone.
Bye.